Continuing from last chapter, two contestants attempted to plunder the points of the top-ranked MultiSubs, but they were unexpectedly defeated completely. In truth, the Silver Thunder Wolf King possessed immense strength, but it was the Azure Flame that caused its swift defeat. That tiny wisp of blue fire had separated from the Celestial Fire Jade and streaked toward the Silver Thunder Wolf King. In the blink of an eye, it struck the Wolf King, and the enormous thunder net formed by the Thousand Thunder Judgment vanished into thin air. It's no wonder the Silver Thunder Wolf King suddenly withdrew its attack. The moment that wisp of azure flame touched it, the Wolf King felt the overwhelming aura of death. Currently locked in a stalemate with the Heavenly Fire Sacred Tiger, the Silver Thunder Wolf King had been confident that it could match the tiger, despite the ferocity of the Celestial Fire Jade. However, it had gravely underestimated the power of the tiger's flames. As soon as that seemingly weak wisp of blue fire touched the Wolf King's body, it surged inward, rampaging wildly through its insides. The Silver Thunder Wolf King was forced to cease its offensive, focusing all its strength on resisting the destruction caused by the blue flame. Though it couldn't fully comprehend what that blue flame was, the agonized expression on the Wolf King's face made it clear that the flame's damage was just as fearsome as the direct assault from the Celestial Fire Jade. Ordinary fire could never have such terrifying destructive power, and even Xiao Yan's mighty heavenly flame couldn't inflict this much damage. This must be that kind of flame. The Silver Thunder Wolf King quickly calculated. Although its mind had been controlled by its summoner, it hadn't completely lost its ability to think. It fought under orders, but much of its instincts remained intact. The moment the thought of that flame crossed its mind, fear flickered in the Wolf King's single eye. Only such a flame could possess this level of terrifying strength. As the azure flame wreaked havoc within the Wolf King, it gathered all its remaining lightning to purge the blue fire from its body. The destructive force of the lightning finally succeeded in extinguishing the flame. It had, after all, been a fragment lent to the Heavenly Fire Sacred Tiger by MultiSubs, so its power was naturally limited. After ridding itself of the cursed flame, the Silver Thunder Wolf King was just about to gather its strength and launch another attack against the Heavenly Fire Sacred Tiger when it suddenly remembered. The Celestial Fire Jade still hung in the air, while its own Thousand Thunder Judgment had been dissipated by the blue flame's intrusion. Boom, boom, boom. The terrifying energy within the Celestial Fire Jade exploded, crashing down onto the Silver Thunder Wolf King's body. Instantly, the Wolf King's enraged howls filled the sky. Due to its sudden withdrawal, the battle had completely shifted, tipping the scales in favor of the Heavenly Fire Sacred Tiger. The Wolf King's body was now engulfed in flames, and the wounds it had sustained earlier became even more agonizing under the scorching heat. At this moment, the Heavenly Fire Sacred Tiger stood like a king, radiating an oppressive aura. Even as it faced the powerful Silver Thunder Wolf King, it displayed the respect one strong being owed another. Covered in flames, the Heavenly Fire Sacred Tiger suddenly surged forward at terrifying speed, charging toward the wounded Wolf King. Bang, bang, bang. The tiger transformed into a deadly sharp blade, piercing straight through the Silver Thunder Wolf King's scarred body. This was a strike to kill, a decisive blow. No one could challenge the dignity of the King of Beasts in the eastern part of the Forest of Corpses. In the Silver Thunder Wolf King's lone eye, there was only a burning desire for battle, filled with hatred and frustration. It didn't hate the Heavenly Fire Sacred Tiger for being stronger. No, its hatred was directed at Yu Hui and Yu Jing, the cowardly summoners who had dragged it into this fight. While it had miscalculated the tiger's power, as one of the strongest among the wolves, it could not accept defeat so easily. Oh, even though its body was gravely injured, the Silver Thunder Wolf King howled defiantly. Useless trash. Yu Hui cursed under his breath. His eyes shifted toward the distance, where MultiSubs sat casually on a tree branch, her long legs swaying gracefully. He swallowed hard, his gaze lingering on those slender legs and her cherry-red lips. If only he could. Though the competition for first place was their primary goal, the real motivation behind challenging MultiSubs was more complex. After all, power was important, but the allure of a beautiful woman was even more tempting. And with a woman as stunning as Mu Yingying, it was impossible for either of them not to harbor such wicked thoughts. Yu Hui and Yu Jing weren't ones to dawdle. Realizing the Silver Thunder Wolf King was weakening under the Heavenly Fire Sacred Tiger's relentless attack, they quickly abandoned their sinister thoughts and exchanged a glance. "Let's go." Without hesitation, the two turned into streaks of light and fled. Mu Yingying smiled faintly, her lips curving upwards. "You're lucky you ran fast, or you'd have lost more than just points." Her silvery voice, though pleasant, carried an unmistakable hint of killing intent. From the way the two had leered at her earlier, it was clear to her that neither of them had pure intentions. Just as her words fell, a projection appeared from the token she carried in her hand. Yu Hui, ranked 10th, and Yu Jing, ranked 21st, challenged Mu Yingying, ranked 1st, defeat. At the same time, countless other participants in the forest of EngSubs saw the same message appear before them. Among the three heading toward the second layer of the forest, a young man carrying a massive ruler on his back gazed at the message, deep in thought. It was clear he was pondering something. After a brief pause, he glanced at the unchanged information regarding Mu Yingying's first-place ranking. A spark of determination flashed in his eyes. "Let's go," he declared, as the ancient ruler of flames behind him floated into his hand, radiating intense heat. "Huh. Xiao Yan, where are you headed?" Mu Feng asked in confusion. Could it be? Yuru glanced at the ranking on the token, her voice trailing off as she muttered to herself. With that, the two of them transformed into streaks of light, following Xiao Yan closely. Back on the battlefield, the Silver Thunder Wolf King's form was fading, as though it might disappear at any moment. "Well done, Big Tiger." Mu Yingying quickly approached the Heavenly Fire Sacred Tiger, her hand affectionately stroking its snowy white forehead. Its soft, fluffy fur felt wonderful against her delicate palm, and she couldn't resist lingering in the sensation. Suddenly, a quiet yet imposing voice rang out across the sky. "Hold your hand for a moment, friend." As the words echoed, a figure dressed in white appeared before Mu Yingying and the Heavenly Fire Sacred Tiger. The man had a strikingly handsome face. "Grr." The Heavenly Fire Sacred Tiger growled, instinctively stepping in front of Mu Yingying, its eyes fixed warily on the newcomer. Despite its overwhelming strength, the tiger could sense a chilling aura of death emanating from this man, unlike anything it had encountered before. Mu Yingying's expression also shifted. Her playful demeanor vanished, replaced by a serious gaze. The invisible pressure radiating from this man caused the air around them to ripple. "Silver Moon Heavenly Wolf, you and I have no quarrel. What brings you here today?" The Heavenly Fire Sacred Tiger spoke calmly, but the terrifying flames around its body flared up, ready to protect Mu Yingying at a moment's notice. The man chuckled softly. "Oh, I'm not here for any trouble today. I've simply come to retrieve the Silver Thunder Wolf King. Its life isn't over yet, and I'd prefer to take it back." He smiled as he spoke, his voice carrying an easy confidence. This Wolf King was summoned by humans. "If you have a way to take it, by all means, it's yours," the Heavenly Fire Sacred Tiger replied generously. "Oh, are you serious?" the man asked, a hint of surprise in his tone. "I, the Heavenly Fire Sacred Tiger, stand by my word." The tiger's aura surged to its peak, prepared for any unexpected turn of events. "In that case, I won't hold back," the man said. With a casual wave of his hand, the fading form of the Silver Thunder Wolf King solidified, and the flames covering it were instantly extinguished. The man opened his mouth, and with a sudden movement, the Silver Thunder Wolf King was swallowed whole. With the deed done, the man disappeared into the skies above the eastern part of the forest of EngSubs without a trace. "Big Tiger, what was that?" Mu Yingying wiped the sweat from her rosy cheeks, her voice soft as she asked the question. The moment that strikingly handsome man appeared, Mu Yingying felt as though the do qi in her body had frozen. This was something she had never experienced before. "Oh, my little ancestor. That was the most powerful being in the entire forest of EngSubs. Can we please not provoke him?" The heavenly fire sacred tiger spoke, almost pleadingly. The most powerful being in the forest of EngSubs? Mu Yingying bit her lip, her face filled with surprise. I may be the ruler of the eastern section of the second layer, but he is the king of the entire forest. Silver Moon Heavenly Wolf. As the heavenly fire sacred tiger's words fell, Mu Yingying could sense a tone of deep respect in its voice. Silver Moon Heavenly Wolf. No wonder he saved the Silver Thunder Wolf King. Their allies, Mu Yingying pouted. She could tell at a glance that the handsome man hadn't truly devoured the Silver Thunder Wolf King. It was merely a spatial technique. This place is getting boring. I'm going to the third layer, Mu Yingying declared, transforming into a ball of blue light as she left. Little ancestor, wait for me. The heavenly fire sacred tiger quickly shifted into a human form and followed her in haste. Xiao Yan, where exactly are you going? Mu Feng asked in frustration. In the second layer, he could already sense the presence of numerous powerful entities. You'll find out soon enough. Hurry up, Xiao Yan replied with a smile. In truth, when Xiao Yan had first rushed toward the battle in the sky over the eastern part of the second layer, the ruler spirit of his ancient ruler of heavenly flames, Long Yi, had spoken to him. I'm sure you've noticed that the first place ranking hasn't changed, right? Normally, after defeating 2 people, the points would increase. I don't think I need to explain what that means. Do you have a plan? Xiao Yan asked excitedly. He had indeed noticed this detail, which was why he was heading toward the area where Yu Hui and Yu Jing had fled. If he could reap the benefits without much effort, the outcome could be... Just thinking about it made Xiao Yan excited. Even though he had this idea in mind, he had also realized that the ghostly aura in the second layer of the forest of EngSubs was incredibly dense, so much so that even his Imperial Realm mortal-grade soul power couldn't sense more than a kilometer ahead. Xiao Yan, aren't you in need of points? How about we make a deal? Long Yi said casually. Since the Golden Dragon King was already residing within Xiao Yan, helping him would only benefit Long Yi's future. And if the Golden Dragon King returned to the Dragon Clan to unify it one day, Long Yi's status would soar as well. What kind of deal? Xiao Yan asked, communicating with Long Yi in his mind, as he continued flying toward Yu Hui and Yu Jing. Hee, though it may seem too distant for you now, one day you must help the Golden Dragon King return to the Dragon Clan. Long Yi said with conviction, clearly holding the Golden Dragon King in the highest regard. I agree. Even though my current strength isn't enough, when the day comes, I won't hesitate to help my master reclaim his rightful place in the Dragon Clan. Xiao Yan responded earnestly. Though his master, the Golden Dragon King, rarely spoke of it, Xiao Yan had sensed from the king's emotions that something significant had happened in the past. Good. If the king of our Dragon Clan holds you in such high regard, you're no ordinary person. I'll trust you this once and fully assist you. Let me tell you, no one knows the forest of EngSubs better than I do. Long Yi chuckled. Let's go. The ghostly aura may hinder your senses, but I've lived here for thousands of years, and its effects on me are minimal. As soon as Long Yi finished speaking, his dragon eyes narrowed, and in the next moment, he spotted Yu Hui and Yu Jing. To the west. Go. Long Yi's words sent Xiao Yan speeding up. This was an opportunity not to be missed. Hey, slow down. Why the rush? Mu Feng grumbled, quickly following Xiao Yan's lead. Meanwhile, on the other side, Yu Hui and Yu Jing were in a less-than-ideal situation. Their fight with Mu Yingying had cost them a significant amount of blood essence to summon the Silver Thunder Wolf King, and they had even injected it with a large amount of thunder-diluted do qi. Now, they were like lambs awaiting slaughter. After their defeat, the two had fled as fast as they could. They knew all too well how formidable Mu Yingying was, especially with the heavenly fire sacred tiger, a beast strong enough to rival a human 5-star Do Di, by her side. Their only option was to retreat. They could live to fight another day. Thankfully, Mu Yingying hadn't pursued them, so their points were still intact. Now, they just needed to heal and recover. Big brother, that Mu Yingying is so crafty, came Yu Jing's weak voice from within a small cave, barely 10 meters across. Damn that Mu Yingying and her heavenly fire sacred tiger. Once I've recovered, I'll get my revenge. Yu Hui growled through gritted teeth. The reason they had dared to challenge Mu Yingying was partly because of the Silver Thunder Wolf King, and partly because they had reliable intelligence. At least, they thought they did. Unfortunately, their information had been flawed. They hadn't anticipated that Mu Yingying would have such a powerful beast guarding her. Damn that Xiao Yan. It sold us fake information. Yu Hui cursed in frustration. But after thinking it over, he realized the bird was ranked 8th in the points competition. Why would it sell them legitimate information about the first-place contender? It was clearly a trap, a deliberate setup. It seems the Yu Hui brothers are thinking about me, said a man with scars etched across his face, laughing coldly. But those two fools are beyond saving. Did they really think the first-place spot could be taken so easily? I purposely kept the presence of Mu Yingying's heavenly fire sacred tiger, a beast powerful enough to rival a human 5-star Do D, hidden from them, all for the sake of the massive points they carry. Haha, search for them. Find those two heavily wounded brothers, and their points will be yours, the man commanded. His subordinates immediately dispersed to search the area. If Yu Hui were present, he would have recognized this man. It was none other than Xiao Yan. They're in that cave up ahead, Long Yi's voice echoed. Be careful, Xiao Yan said softly. Yu Hui, ranked 10th, and Yu Jing, ranked 21st, are just below us. He grasped his ancient ruler of heavenly flames, ready to strike at any sign of danger. His immense soul power quietly enveloped the three of them, causing their presences to vanish from perception. At the same time, the divine motion inscription within his Naiwan palace spread silently to the cave's entrance. Mu Feng's excitement was palpable as he realized Xiao Yan's plan. No wonder he had been in such a hurry. In response, Mu Feng summoned a wooden sword into his hand, eager to strike. So that's your plan? Yuru smiled, cautiously following behind the two. It was clear she wasn't used to sneaking around like this. Her movements a bit clumsy. Big brother, what do we do now? Yu Jing asked from within the cave, having confirmed that no one was nearby. Little did they know, they were like fish on a chopping block. Xiao Yan's overwhelming soul power had completely hidden Mu Feng and Yuru's presence, leaving the two brothers oblivious, especially in their wounded state. We have no choice but to recover here and wait until the final days of the points plunder competition. The real battle will be then, Yu Hui said bitterly. We'll settle the score then. Is there any sign of people nearby? Yu Hui asked, knowing his younger brother tended to be careless. No one. Yu Jing replied confidently. Hearing this, Yu Hui carefully scanned the area again. After confirming that no one was present, he sat down cross-legged. Let's begin. It will take some time to recover from these injuries, Yu Hui said, closing his eyes. A silver glow began to spread over his body, slowly healing his wounds. Inside the cave, Yu Hui and Yu Jing were fully focused on recovering, knowing that in the forest of corpses, only their strength could ensure their survival. Yuru, you and Mu Feng handle Yu Jing. I'll take on Yu Hui. Move. Xiao Yan's voice echoed in their minds. No sooner had Xiao Yan's command been given than a terrifying wave of power erupted within the cave, where a faint silver light had once glimmered. Xiao Yan was the first to strike, wielding his ancient ruler of heavenly flames. With a powerful swing, a massive ruler light, engulfed in flames and stretching dozens of meters, slashed toward Yu Hui. The milky white flame ruler beam was accompanied by a spiraling dragon, its power far more overwhelming than anything Xiao Yan had previously unleashed. Yuru and Mu Feng weren't idle either. The two launched fierce attacks of their own the moment Xiao Yan moved. Damn it! Who's there? Yu Hui reacted immediately to the immense force bearing down on them. He grabbed Yu Jing and leaped out of the path of Xiao Yan's attack just in time. Thud, thud, thud. Their recovery was abruptly interrupted, and both brothers spat out mouthfuls of blood. Is the heavenly fire sacred tiger chasing us? Yu Jing shouted, recognizing the terrifying power of the flames in the attack. No, this fire is even hotter than the heavenly fire sacred tigers. Be careful, it might be other contestants. Yu Hui warned, his gaze darting around warily. But no matter how hard he looked, he couldn't spot anyone in the area. Seeing that his first strike had failed, Xiao Yan chuckled to himself. Even though Yu Hui and Yu Jing were both heavily injured, as late-stage 4-star Do-Di experts, the old saying rang true, a starved camel is still bigger than a horse. They were not to be underestimated. Divine Motion, activate. With Xiao Yan's command, a quadrilateral energy field emerged from within him, fusing onto a white scroll, which then flew toward the cave, covering the entire space. In the blink of an eye, the cave was sealed off by Xiao Yan's array. This is an array. Yu Hui's pupils contracted sharply, realizing in that instant that the earlier attack had merely been a distraction. Frantically, he poured what little do chi he had left into attacking the 4 focal points of the array inside the cave, desperately trying to break through. If you've come this far, do you really think you can leave now? Though it seems being the fisherman isn't as easy as it looks, Xiao Yan sighed with a wry smile. This array can only trap a 3-star Do-Di. It's going to be tough holding these 2 late-stage 4-star Do-Di. You two need to hold them off. Give me some time. His brown eyes darkened as he began gathering a terrifying and massive flame energy within himself. Got it. Yu Ru and Mu Feng responded, though they weren't entirely sure what Xiao Yan was planning. But sensing the immense power he was building, they knew it was bound to be a deadly move. Inside the cave, the fire-based array covered the entire space, sealing off all exits and causing waves of flame energy to surge and permeate the area. It was clearly a defensive array. However, the central white scroll only had 3,000 core inscriptions. 3,000 inscriptions were more than enough to trap a 3-star Do-Di, but against Yu Hui and Yu Jing, both late-stage 4-star Do-Di, the array was clearly struggling. For now, 3,000 inscriptions were the limit for Xiao Yan, as his progress in spirit power cultivation had been slow. However, being able to condense even this much was thanks to the benefits brought by the soul seed he had absorbed earlier. Damn it! Who the hell are you? Yu Hui shouted angrily, his eyes darting around as he continued attacking the 4 corners of the array, his voice echoing in the cave. Under normal circumstances, not even someone like Mu Yingying would have scared him. But now, gravely wounded as they were, he couldn't afford to be reckless. What puzzled him most was that their attackers knew how to set up arrays. Array masters had long been considered extinct. Even in the vast mystic 3 heavens, those who understood arrays and could actually set them up were extremely rare. Although this array was only strong enough to trap a 3-star Do-Di, Yu Hui's face turned grim. He knew this was no ordinary opponent. Yu Jing, let's attack together. Break the array and run. I have a bad feeling about this, Yu Hui added, his tone filled with anxiety. Both of them, now only capable of exerting mid-stage 4-star Do-Di strength, had only a fraction of their Do-Chi left. Run? It won't be that easy. Mu Feng's voice rang out within the cave, though Yu Hui and Yu Jing, trapped by the array, couldn't pinpoint where he and Yu Ru were. Both Yu Ru and Mu Feng continued channeling vast amounts of Do-Chi into the white scroll, doing their best to maintain the array. Yin Yang 8 trigrams, 5 fires, enhance. Mu Feng's voice echoed again. With that, the power of the array surged, its aura rising to a level capable of trapping late-stage 4-star Do-Di experts. Yu Hui immediately noticed the change. Though their attackers had decent strength, the fact that they hadn't dared confront them directly indicated they were probably weaker. Realizing this, Yu Hui and Yu Jing gathered the last remnants of their Do-Chi, preparing for a final surge. A mere array with 3,000 inscriptions? You think you can trap me? Let me show you what a true late-stage 4-star Do-Di can do. Yu Hui shouted. He and Yu Jing were soon cloaked in silver light, their strength temporarily surging back to its late-stage level, despite their injuries. Radiant Finger. Primal Crystal Palm. Their 2 fearsome attacks, carrying terrifying amounts of power, smashed violently against the array. Boom. The array shattered instantly under the combined force of their strikes, and Yu Ru and Mu Feng both spat out blood due to the backlash from the array's collapse. Just as Xiao Yan's eyes had been tightly closed, they suddenly shot open. In his hands appeared a destructive force unlike anything Yu Hui and Yu Jing had ever seen. What is that? Yu Hui gasped, panting heavily. The effort it had taken to break the array had clearly drained them. The last remnants of their silver doqi glimmered faintly, barely illuminating the cave. Gradually, the figures of their attackers emerged from the shadows. A delicate woman, her body surrounded by a faint aura of green doqi, and a man draped in a Taoist robe stood before them. However, it wasn't these two that captured Yu Hui and Yu Jing's attention. It was the man standing between them, carrying a heavy ruler on his back, Xiao Yan. But even more captivating was the small, flame-encased lotus in Xiao Yan's hand. A miniature dragon swam around the intricate lotus, its movements mesmerizing. Both Yu Hui and Yu Jing's eyes widened in fear. They could feel the overwhelming, destructive energy radiating from the lotus. Not good, Yu Hui shouted. The instant he realized they couldn't withstand the power of that fire lotus, he turned to flee, but Xiao Yan was faster. You came here. Did you think you could leave so easily? Xiao Yan's voice rang out. Lotus of Desolation. As his voice fell, the small lotus, containing 22 different colors, shot from Xiao Yan's hand at a speed faster than sound, heading straight toward Yu Hui and Yu Jing. Wherever the fire lotus passed, the air seemed unable to bear its terrifying heat and destructive force, trembling as though on the verge of collapse. The lotus moved with lightning speed, reaching the two brothers in an instant. As it approached, a massive dragon made of doqi materialized around the lotus, with the flaming lotus residing in the dragon's belly. Boom, boom, boom. The terrifying lotus of desolation unleashed an apocalyptic wave of destruction, engulfing Yu Hui and Yu Jing in a flash. The immense power exploded with such force that the entire cave was reduced to rubble. Amidst the raging flames, it seemed for a moment that the two brothers' figures were merging together in an attempt to survive. However, even with their combined efforts, they were no match for the overwhelming might of the lotus. Had they been at full strength, they might have had a chance to fight back, but in their current weakened state, there was no other outcome but a tragic end. The devastating force of the Lotus of Desolation obliterated the cave in an instant, sending shockwaves rippling outwards. Whether Yu Hui and Yu Jing survived was now a mystery. Cough, cough. Xiao Yan staggered slightly. In the moment the array had shattered, he had unleashed the Lotus to strike them with the full force of his strongest attack. But the backlash from the broken array had left him wounded, as an array master's mental energy and natal inscription were closely tied to the strength of their formation. In addition, conjuring the Lotus of Desolation had drained Xiao Yan of most of his power, leaving his lips stained with blood. Xiao Yan, are you all right? Yuru hurried over to support him, pulling out several precious pills from her ring and quickly feeding them to him. Enough, enough. You're going to stuff me to death. Xiao Yan coughed violently, half choking from Yuru's rapid attempts to heal him. Hearing this, Yuru stopped, though her delicate brows remained furrowed with concern. Xiao Yan sighed helplessly. He could see that her worry had made her act recklessly. Taking a moment to steady himself, he began to refine some of the pills Yuru had given him. The potent medicinal energy flowed through his body, slowly restoring his strength. Watching this interaction, Mu Feng couldn't help but click his tongue in jealousy. Ugh, just a couple. What's the big deal? Despite his grumbling, Mu Feng's thoughts were in turmoil. His perception of Xiao Yan had completely changed. Ever since their first meeting at the tea house, and later in the cold pool chamber, Mu Feng had known that Xiao Yan possessed powerful hidden cards. But never in his wildest dreams did he expect that Xiao Yan, at the peak of 3-star Do D, could possess the strength to kill late-stage 4-star Do D experts. He understood all too well the gap in power between a 3-star Do D and a 4-star Do D. And yet, Xiao Yan had defied all expectations. If it had been him in Xiao Yan's place, Mu Feng thought, taking down the injured Yu Hui and Yu Jing brothers would have required significant effort and multiple strategies. Yet Xiao Yan had managed it in just a few moves. The cave was reduced to rubble in an instant, and the shockwaves from the battle slowly dissipated. Are they dead? Mu Feng was the first to speak, noticing that Yu Hui and Yu Jing's presence had completely vanished. Heh, late-stage 4-star Do D experts, ranked 10th in the points plunder competition. If they died that easily, wouldn't their reputation have been undeserved? Right, Yu Hui? Xiao Yan had recovered much of his strength by now and spoke softly toward a seemingly empty part of the air. Cough, cough, cough. A series of violent coughs rang out, and soon, Yu Hui's battered figure slowly emerged in front of them. He was covered in wounds, his body a bloody mess, and his hand, which he held tightly in front of his chest, seemed to be clutching something. Cough, cough. Damn kid, when I recover from these injuries, I'll make sure you suffer. Yu Hui was in a dire state, barely clinging to life. Any competitor could easily kill him at this point. Heh. So you survived after all, Xiao Yan remarked. Using your own brother as a shield to block the fire lotus, quite a cruel method. It became clear to Xiao Yan that, despite the Lotus of Desolation's terrifying power, especially with the added strength from Long Yi's dragon soul, Yu Hui had survived by sacrificing his own brother to absorb the brunt of the attack. A brutal but effective strategy. Heh, the victor takes all. Who has time for mercy? Yu Hui replied weakly, fighting to stay conscious. He knew that if he passed out now, it would be the end. Isn't it points you want? I'll give them to you. But how will you split them? Yu Hui looked weakly at Xiao Yan and his companions, attempting to sow discord among them. Trying to drive a wedge between us won't work, Xiao Yan said, shaking his head. And I don't just want your points. I want your life. With those words, Xiao Yan turned into a flame and launched a deadly attack toward the gravely injured Yu Hui. Xiao Yan knew full well that, as a late-stage 4-star Do-D expert, Yu Hui undoubtedly had powerful forces behind him. Now that they were mortal enemies, it was best to eliminate him completely. Letting him escape would only lead to endless revenge in the future, which would be a major headache for Xiao Yan. In Yu Hui's weakened state, even the lightest attack could finish him off, let alone Xiao Yan's powerful strike. You little brat. When I recover, I'll make sure you die a horrible death. Yu Hui snarled with a twisted expression. Realizing the deadly intent radiating from the ruler-wielding man before him, he knew his only option was to escape. Though he was unwilling, his life was more important. With a blood-stained hand, he crushed a token, and his body transformed into a streak of light, disappearing from the forest of corpses in an instant. Crushing the token signified his withdrawal from the competition. Damn it! And what about the points? Xiao Yan yelled in frustration. Though his main goal wasn't to kill Yu Hui but to force him out, now that his plan had succeeded, Xiao Yan realized that Yu Hui's points had gone with him. He couldn't help but curse loudly.